Hi everyone and welcome to part 4 of the Everything I've Ever Colored series. Part 4, we are starting with the Autumn Fantasy coloring book by Molly Harrison. It's also a book with double the pages, but they are following each other straight ahead, so I can show you this one first. Really like how she turned out. I was quite experimental with my background, I think. But I really like the effect. I really like the effect. I didn't do a whole lot in this book, but yeah, since I have a lot of coloring books, I switch and hop from here to there. So this one I did at the end of September from this year. So with a glowing moon, I really like how her face turned out and her clothing, the color of her hair. Yeah, a simple picture, but was nice to work on. And this one I don't like that much. I was also quite experimental with my colors, but no, that wasn't a terrific one. And I think that's about it. Oh yeah. If you want to make yourself a glowing skin, I don't like this one very much, but I filmed how I made her. It's visible on my channel. Some glittery things going on in the background. So, yeah. And that was it for Molly Harrison. And next up is Fairy Tales by Selina Fenech. And I've only done one so far in this book, and it's this one. I'm really happy and proud for my stonework I did here around this picture. I've used gesso and graphited pencils for that effect. I have a tutorial video online, so you can take a look if you want. And I really like the result of this page. I adore this book too. I must work in it quite soon again. And then we are visiting the Jade Summer collection. I haven't touched this book in quite some time, so this is the second half of the pages. So I did this one from 2 years ago, and again more pale coloring than I do now. Again, this was from the beginning of last year, also very pale, but yeah, they are vampires, so maybe that's normal. And that's the only one I've done. The only ones, only these two. The anime coloring book. Also not a lot done in this one, maybe two. I've done this one, quite recent. Not too big of a fan of the result, but yeah. And I've done this one. I wanted to do this page with the pencils that I won on a giveaway that Peta Hewitt organized. So the Mikador Colorers pencils, she's done with all of them. And that's it for this book. Then we have The Mermaid one of the Mermaids coloring books by Jade Summer. I think these are going to start from the beginning. I think this is the starting page from this book. I haven't done many in this one either, so I've done this one. It's less vivid on camera than it is in real life. Now it's a bit better. Really like the result of this one. I love that my crabs look different. I love his cheek. Yeah, super nice picture to work on. This is a work in progress for quite some time. Started this one last year, I think. Really like how this has turned out, but I'm so blocked to do all the rest. Don't know why, but it is. So I'm not sure when I will be finishing this one. And then I did this page. It was the first one I did in this coloring book. Really like her too, except for the flower. That's just too much. But I messed up what I was planning to do, so yeah, I had to save it. So, the Mermaids book. Then we have the cute Fairies one. And I also think this has doubles starting at the back. I've done this one. Really liking this one. Really like her hair. Did this one. Very proud of her. I really like how these her dress is shaded. She has some stickles in her hair for some accents. And have a lot of good memories on this book. Adore this one too. I think this was the first one that I did in this coloring book, if I'm not mistaken. I really like the details on her knee, the knee details that I did. Very nice to do. And the first page I've also done, but she's looking different than she has a different skin tone. But I really like how she turned out too, although I'm not a fan of her color combo for the dress. But yeah. And then we dive into the Fairies coloring book. Also going to look up, this is the start of the second set. So we have this one. Really proud of how this one turned out. Must refocus. We have this one. Really like this one too. Love that background. This one I'm not a big fan of. And I have a weird reflection here on this page again because of my broken camera. I'm sorry. And this one. I'm not my favorite either. Her legs are too long, I think. And then I did her. I like her. She has more detail in real life than on camera. She has a nice blush on her cheeks. And then of course I did the first page. But look at all these stains, it's a kuretake paint. It's quite good visible on her wings, but it's rubbing off on the other side. And I don't like the combo of her dress and her wings and all the rest, but yeah. Next up we have the Cute Witches coloring book by Jade Summer. And I'm going to, this is the second half. With the Jade Summer books, most of the time you get double pages. So I have this one. Had a lot of fun working on those two ladies. Really like her blushy cheeks. And here at the bottom I've written down what I've used. I did it back in 2018. I've stopped doing it now. So this was in October last year. We have this one. Here I reviewed the Staedtler watercolor pencils. There's a video about those pencils and I've shown her. I can't remember if I used other Staedtler products for her skin. I don't think so. I think this is Prismacolors, but all the rest of her outfit is Staedtler. And then the stonework is gesso and graphited pencils. And this is watercolor paint. And that's it for this book. Not a lot done in this one. And the next one is the Kawaii Girls, also by Jade Summer. Going to the half of the book. Yeah, that's the beginning. It's easier to start in the back. I did this one. Did a base layer of marker and then went on top with another totally other colored pencil. I used fluorescent marker as a base for her hair. It was very special to do it like this, but I'm fairly happy with how she turned out. It's a bit other than other. And then we have this mermaid. Yeah, also a bit poppy and flashy coloring wise. A lot of fluorescent stuff going on, and she also has some glittery details, of course. And that's that for the Kawaii book. And then there's a second Kawaii. I've waited quite a while to buy this one, but at the end I'm really glad I did, because yeah, I really like this style. And I've done this one. I did review video. I don't know what it was about again. I think the Arteza products. This is done with Arteza gouache. Maybe I did the skin with Arteza, I'm not sure, but there's a video on this picture. She's also got some glitter going on. Really like the outcome of this one. That's everything. That's the only one that I've done in there. Then we have the Chibi girls. Did I do something in this one? Oh yeah, I started that. I tried to start one, but she's looking green, so I think I've put these in my stack by accident, because I haven't colored in both of my Chibi girls coloring book. I also have this one, also haven't colored in this one. I did in this though. Does this also have 2 copies? Yes. This is the second half. This was one of my very first coloring books, and it's quite visible because now I use more bold and poppy colors, and this is again one with faint colors, and yeah, not an artist brand pencil, so that's an influence on how you color. This is Prismacolor. It's a bit more poppy, but still not as I color now. And I didn't use any glitter back then. I did use it last year on her wings. If it's visible, it's a bit difficult. But I really must feel a Chibi book. This is a marker-based one. I didn't want to color on top anymore. I got bored, so this will be left like it is. I really have to feel a Chibi book. It's not always my preferred style. Then we have the Grimm fairy tales. Not a lot done in this either. Only 1 or 2, I think. One. It's Cinderella. Derwent Inktense and Graphitint, Polychromos and Crayola. Yeah, Polychromos for her skin, I think. Graphitint for these colors. And also for the window, I think. In Crayola, I don't know. Had a lot of fun with this picture, but it's not that spectacular or special, and I haven't done any in this one since, so yeah. Then we move on to Alice in Wonderland. Also double pictures, so I'm starting from the second half. I did this one. It's fairly okay. She has a weird shadow here on her face, but yeah, it's doable. Not one of my favorites though. I did one other, but I thought Alice was looking quite odd. There's something wrong with her eyes. I like how the Queen turned out, but I don't like how Alice turned out. And that background is also a bit special with that red, but I did use some stickles on the Queen. And on her crown also, it's not quite visible. I don't have my torch here. But yeah. And that's everything for the Alice in Wonderland one. The Norse mythology, I only did one, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. It was Hell. I bought this book because of her. It was such a special picture. It reminds me a bit of The Walking Dead. And yeah, it's very simple coloring, but yeah, I appreciate how it turned out. But that's everything in this book. Then we have the Greek mythology, and if I'm not mistaken, I also did only one in this book, and it's a man, Hades. Used paints for this mountain and neos for the background. Markers as a base, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I can see it on the back side that I've used markers. So nothing done otherwise in this one. Then we have the light fantasy. I can hardly remember what I did in this. Also one, I think, during a very hot summer day. Oh no, maybe I did two. It's possible. There's a video on his skin tone. It's a base layer of a pale green with some ochreish green on top. Really like how he turned out. I love his body. It's only a pity that the water has almost the same color as her hair. That was a bit of a stupid mistake that I did there, but yeah. I think that's everything. Then I have, oh yes, I have the other book that I was thinking the picture was in this one. I have it right here. That's a dark fantasy one. Did only one on that hot summer day. That was this one. Not too fond of this one, but yeah. I can consider this book colored in. And then we have Dragons by Jade Summer. Only one, I think. Yep, only one. And it's this one. It's very dark. Yeah. A bit special. I don't know what to think about it, to be honest. I don't hate it, but I don't like it either, so it's something in between. And that was this one. And then to finish this part, I can show you the Chibi Girls Halloween Fantasy coloring book. Bought this second hand and I've only done one picture in here. The artwork isn't quite my cup of tea, but yeah. Really like how this page turned out. It was quite a simple one. But other than that, the artwork is quite special. You have to be in the mood for this. You can make some great colorings with it, I'm sure, but I will have to feel it to start another project in this one. But since it was a second-hand book, I haven't paid much, so it's not a pity that it's staying a bit untouched on my shelf for a while. So that's the final book on this part. I hope you've liked to take a look at the colorings, and I hope to see you again in the next part. Thanks for watching. Bye.